The Usman vs. Covington rematch is upon us in the upcoming UFC 268, and among all the excitement about the two MMA beasts getting a chance to replay the events from 2 years ago, there's even more curiosity as to who'll win this time around. So how would the events of UFC 268 unfold, and who'll take the title home? Keep watching for all the pro and celebrity predictions. Let's recap what happened in UFC 245. We're sure you haven't forgotten the blockbuster of an event that UFC 245 was. UFC 245 took place on December 14th, 2019, and the main event had not just Usman and Covington contesting each other, but Max Holloway going against Alexander Volkanovski, and Amanda Nunes facing Demain de Randamie in the women's bantamweight division. As for the fight that everyone was most excited for, aka the Usman vs. Covington showdown, some major things happened. During the 5 rounds that took place through 2 days, Usman managed to win through a late TKO. The two had a heated contest where, despite their insane talent, neither Usman nor Covington was able to take the other down, and the duel dragged on for 5 rounds. But Usman still emerged victorious, and despite the expectations of many. In interviews that followed, Usman said he relied on jabs when his other techniques were clearly not working, and that's what led him to the win. Covington was far from done. He immediately started making efforts to arrange a rematch with Usman, but the Nigerian Nightmare was over it and no agreements were reached. Until, of course, now, when we're just a couple weeks to the rematch of all rematches, the UFC 268 Covington vs. Usman 2. So why did Usman suddenly agree to a rematch? Back when Usman defeated Covington, not only was it super surprising, but Covington himself went so far as declaring the stoppage from Usman unfair. He was absolutely infuriated by the way referee Mark Goddard dealt with the situation and declared Usman the winner. There's also why he demanded a rematch so it could be a fairer fight for both the contestants, but nothing of the sort happened. Instead, Usman went on and defended his welterweight championship from the likes of Gilbert Burns and Jorge Masvidal. All this time, Covington was patiently waiting to get another chance at crushing Usman, but Covington came face-to-face against Tyrone Woodley and managed to defeat the former champion. But there was one thing on his mind all along: to defeat Usman any way he could. What followed was Covington using the win to request a match against Usman, and he succeeded. The Covington vs. Usman 2 bout was arranged at last, and all is set to start soon. But there does seem to be other things at work too, other than just pure coincidence, that we'll see Covington opposite Usman in the octagon again. And Covington has given a few hints. So apparently, Usman has only agreed to a rematch against Covington due to immense pressure from UFC. The network has given him an ultimatum, and that was to choose between either going for a rematch or having his championship title stripped, and obviously, Usman chose the former. What do the pros think? Now that there's nothing stopping Covington from testing his skills out for that welterweight title, he must be very prepared to take Usman down, and more than anything, he must think that Usman would not be difficult. Chaos Covington has voiced his feelings about where Usman stands and what are his expectations from him on event day. He said, "I haven't seen anything. I see the same fighter. He comes out with a heavy jab and has a big right hand. That's kind of been the story of his career before, and that's what he always went to in the past. So yeah, he's knocking out lightweights. He's knocking out guys that shouldn't be in there with him. These are easy paychecks, and there's a reason he fought those guys, because he knew he was going to win." Usman, on the other hand, also seemed strong in his belief that the championship would still be his at the end of the day. But it's never really about what the fighters think, is it? Let's have a look at what the experts are saying. What does lightweight champion Michael Chandler think? Michael Chandler, the lightweight champion, is actually rooting for Kamaru. He believes that it'd be an easy win for Usman, and he has the most chances of taking the title home once again. He said that betting against Usman just can't be done, but Covington comes somewhat close to beating Usman. Then he said that Usman will win 9 times out of 10 according to his prediction. However, Chandler added that the only person who has that remaining 10% chance is Covington, so one never knows just who takes the title home, and if Covington really brings it on, it could even be him. What are Leon Edwards' thoughts? Another one for Usman. Leon Edwards also thinks it'll be Kamaru Usman who beats Colby Covington at UFC 268. He was seen saying that the two deciding factors in the match would be punching power and strength, which is why he thinks Usman has the upper hand in this one too, just like he did last time. Edwards said in a recent appearance on MMA Time, Usman will probably win the fight. What is going to be the difference will be the power and the shots, the strength. They are both similar in what they do technically, but the difference will be the power and the strength. But that isn't the only reason he's in favor of Usman winning. If you remember, the last time Edwards was met with a loss inside the octagon was at the hands of Usman back in 2015. Rocky Edwards therefore said that Usman winning the championship title would give him the chance to avenge that loss from years ago and regain the belt from him. He said, "Yeah, sure, 100%. I want Usman to win. I'd like him to win, so I would fight him for the belt. He's the last person to beat me 6 years ago. I'd love to get that one back, like this, then 100%. What about Jorge Masvidal? Jorge Masvidal is yet another on the list to think that that Usman will be the one who'll win this time around too. He said that Usman's striking capabilities are much better than Covington's, and that's what will contribute to one's victory and the other's loss. Masvidal stated how Covington has a strong aspect as well, and that's out wrestling most fighters. This means that this will be another match where Covington will let a fighter push into him. With the ability to wrestle better than most people, it's just expected of Covington to not try to punch his way around the match. Masvidal went on to call Covington the most fragile guy on the roster currently. He also said that the reason Usman broke his jaw was to prove to everyone just how fragile he was. And given all that, Masvidal sided with Usman on winning this one. Because it's a fist fight, the chances are already against Covington, and it will most definitely turn into a fist fight. Could Covington's inactivity play to his disadvantage? On the one hand, Kamaru has spent a lot of time inside the octagon since that first match against Covington. He used these chances to polish his skills. He's also made some serious adjustments to his striking skills, and this could be linked to the time Usman has spent with Trevor Whitman, which has helped Usman against Masvidal and Burns too. On the other hand, Covington has only been in the octagon for a fight once since Usman, and this inactivity could mean that he'll fail to TKO Usman once again. Other than that, Usman has also shown some major improvements in his performance over the last few fights, and it's possible that he's better prepared to come against Covington than Covington against him. Only time will tell what becomes of the rematch, and as excited as we all are, these predictions also make sense, and it's possible that Usman would end up victorious given the fact that the odds seem to be against Covington. Besides Usman and Covington, who else would be seen inside the octagon in UFC 268? No, UFC 268 won't just be about Covington and Usman, even if it's mostly about them. The main card also has some additional big names. Besides Usman and Covington, Rose Namajunas would be seen going up against Yang Welty in another title match. Justin Gaethje will fight Michael Chandler, and Frankie Edgar will contest Marlon Vera on the main card. On the other hand, several matches will take place on the undercard as well. Melsik Bagdasarian will fight TJ Laramie, while Ian Gary versus Jordan Williams will be another match. Edmund Shabazian will go up against Nasruddin Imanov, and Alaquinta takes on Bobby Green. Fighter Alexa Kamura will contest John Allen, plus Alex Pereira will defend himself against Andreas Michailidis, while Shane Burgos will fight Billy Carantillo to put an end to the blockbuster event. That was all you needed to know about pro predictions on the upcoming Usman versus Covington showdown. What are your personal predictions? We're definitely interested to know, so drop them in the comments below. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and we'll see you next time.